Chelsea have just got to stop buying players. And players have got to stop signing for Chelsea.
I could be part of that.
Part of what?
Part of this young, exciting team that could be.
It's not a young and exciting team. It's not a young and exciting team. It's not a young and exciting team. It's not a young and exciting team.
Oh partigiano, porta mi vida. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, porta mi vida. E mi sento vivo. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire, e seppellire lassù in montagna. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E seppellire lassù in montagna.
Enzo Maresca is about to face his toughest test as a manager at Chelsea. Enzo Maresca is going to go up against 3 of the top 6 clubs, and Newcastle, a club that is actually emerging to try and join the top ranks of the top clubs in the Premier League. Now, this is a fixture running that will define Chelsea. Now, Chelsea travel away at Anfield to try and take on league leaders Liverpool. Now, this is a game that last season Chelsea were humiliated, losing 4-1 away at Liverpool. Chelsea so far has looked to take revenge against teams which beat them last season away. So will Chelsea turn their fortunes this time? Now, looking at the table last season and this season, you can see that both teams have improved. Liverpool have the best defense in the league. Chelsea have the second best attack in the league, just scoring 1 goal less than champions Manchester City. Now, before we even start, let's look at the press conference. Now, Enzo Maresca in his press conference actually talked about how the other teams that he faced were tough and that he is ready, together with the team, to actually go through this tough fixture. He knows that this tough fixture is his way to try and show if he's ready in the Premier League. He gave injury news, talked about Reece James, who he has said is back from injury. He's actually has been training with the team for the last 2 weeks. And Reece James has actually been working well, and he even has a potential to start this game or actually even be at bench. But my opinion is that he should not be rushed in. So the game at Anfield is not just one easy game. And some fans are extremely optimistic that you're going to win this game. Others are quite reserved, like me, and hoping that Chelsea can get a result here. So what lineup can Maresca pick? Now, in goal, Robert Sanchez will start. Sanchez in this game should not be clumsy with the ball. If he cannot see an excellent pass, he should just clear the ball. He should be good in looking to find players in the wide areas, and also he should be able to step out to claim crosses. It will be very important that Sanchez is in his best performance on Sunday. We need the Sanchez that played against Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go with the back four of Gusto, Tosin Adrabio, Colwill, and Renato Vega. Now, Tosin and Renato come in for Fofana and Marc Cucurella, who are suspended because they had 5 yellow cards and therefore they are suspended for this match. Tosin needs to come in and bring experience. His height, together with the physicality that he brings together with Renato, will actually give Chelsea that needed solidity, strength, especially when it comes to defending set pieces. Malo Gusto, on the other hand, will contribute heavily for Chelsea in the attacking areas of the pitch when Chelsea have possession. Renato will be playing up against one of the best wingers in the league, Mo Salah, and he needs to be on top of his game. And we hope that this backline can actually try and keep a clean sheet. In the midfield, I'm going to go with the double pivot of Fernandes and Caicedo. They have been Enzo Maresca's preferred 11. I wouldn't mind if Romeo Lavia played with Caicedo, but Fernandes looks to be currently the club captain in the absence of Reece James, more likely to start, and Caicedo. So we don't try to repair or fix something that is not broken. So we go with that double pivot. Then we go with midfield 3, Cole Palmer occupying the number 10 position. He needs that free role. He knows that this is a tough game for him. He's yet to score against Liverpool, so he needs to know how to pick up pockets of space and actually look to try and create for his other players. Noni Madueke and Jadon Sancho need to be at their very best. Chelsea will heavily rely upon these two wingers to go up against Trent and Andrew Robertson. Sancho in particular should get the best out of Trent Alexander-Arnold, while Noni Madueke try to create threats against Andrew Robertson to create space for Palmer to actually look to control the game. Now leading the line, I'm picking Nicholas Jackson. He knows how to drop deep, he knows how to make runs, and his ability to hold the ball to help Chelsea link up play up front will be very important. He played quite well when he faced Konate and Virgil van Dijk, though Jackson also needs to be very clinical. Chelsea are not going to get a lot of chances in this game, and therefore the few chances that Chelsea should get, especially those that fall on Jackson, he should take them. Now, Enzo Maresca's starting 11 is going to be a 4-2-3-1, and we are going to look tactically how he can actually set up his team. Other than looking tactically how he can set up his team, we can look at how both teams will look on paper. Now on paper, both teams are more likely to start with the 4-2-3-1. Notable changes for Chelsea is the introduction of Tosin and Renato Vega in the starting 11. Notable changes for Liverpool is the introduction of Kelleher in place of Alisson. Both teams look to be injury free, but Liverpool has an injured goalkeeper. But this further emphasizes that Chelsea should be ready to actually impose themselves in this game. Now, let's look tactically. So tactically, Liverpool at home, Chelsea, when Chelsea have the ball, Liverpool will press Chelsea aggressively high, pushing all their forward players high up and playing with an aggressive high line. Now, in this case, Liverpool will decide to play with a high line, try and suffocate Chelsea, going man-to-man with Chelsea centre-backs and goalkeeper, and using their two pivots to cover all central passing options for Chelsea. Now, this might actually create problems for Chelsea because Liverpool are having a +1 in defense as well as pressing high. So one way Chelsea can do this is having their fullback starting high and wide and having the goalkeeper to pick them. Now, when we've seen Liverpool really struggle in this fashion, against AC Milan, we saw how AC Milan will just play a lofted ball to a fullback and they will automatically beat Liverpool's aggressive press. Because Liverpool look to try and press out to in, the goalkeeper, that's why I'm saying Robert Sanchez, should be ready to play those balls over the top, especially to the fullbacks. Therefore, the fullbacks should start high, wide, and create those angles where Robert Sanchez can just receive the ball and hoof the ball towards the fullback. Robert Sanchez should be pinpoint in passing these balls to these fullbacks. And once he passes these balls to these fullbacks, the fullbacks should not just look to pass to the wingers, but look to carry the ball and attack that space. And once they find an opportunity, they can pass the ball to the wingers and create a 1-2 kind of scenario. Alternatively, Chelsea can move into a pseudo back four by pushing Sanchez to play as an extra centre back and have one centre back play as a fullback while one fullback inverts or starts out wide. And in this case, I'm talking about Gusto. Now in this case, Gusto's role is to receive the ball directly from the goalkeeper, turn and actually try to progress with the ball high up the pitch and look to try and have Noni Madueke and Jadon Sancho in 1v1 situations against Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But what about when Liverpool are actually in a settled mid-block? No, Liverpool like to settle in a what we call a 4-2-4 mid-block. And this is where their front two decides to cover the central passing channels while the wide players try to cover the wide areas and the wide centre-backs or full-back. So Chelsea can decide to use the kite, 4-man build-up and 6-man attack by using only Caicedo as the solo pivot. And in this case, Chelsea's centre-back's main aim is to try and find these wide attacking midfielders. In this case, Malo Gusto and Enzo Fernandez, or sometimes even Cole Palmer if he decides to drop deep to receive this ball. Chelsea's main aim is to try and heavily overload Liverpool, especially Liverpool's backline, looking to try and have many players in the forward lines to try and create opportunities and actually score goals against Liverpool. Now, this kite system is quite dangerous. If in case Chelsea lose the ball, they might actually be susceptible to dangerous counter-attacks, but it's a risk that Chelsea should be willing to take. Chelsea should also attempt the left side overloads that we've seen them trying to employ this season by trying to draw opponents towards the left, try to bring Liverpool to try and press them down the left, allowing players like Palmer to receive the ball in between the lines and try to create those scenarios where they can easily play balls in behind 4 runs of Jackson, Noni Madueke and other players. Alternatively, if Liverpool commit a lot of players towards one side, then Chelsea can attempt quick switches of play, especially to Noni Madueke, and have Noni Madueke in areas where he can immediately run at Liverpool's fullbacks. Chelsea should be quite conserved when they do not have the ball. They should not commit a lot of players to press Liverpool when they are building up, but rather look to maintain their shape and limit Liverpool's overall progression higher up the pitch. Now, in this case, Chelsea can move into a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-1 formation. In this case, Caicedo playing the only player in between the lines to scan for any player dropping deep, while Fernandes plays ahead of him trying to cover either pivots when Jackson or Cole Palmer decides to actually move to press. The wingers should start out narrow, limit any central progression, and force Liverpool to play the ball towards the wide areas. Once the ball is employed towards the wide areas, Chelsea immediately engage in aggressive touchline press with the winger going up against the fullback and the midfielders covering any available passing channels in the middle. The match against Liverpool is not quite an easy one. Liverpool have the best defense, and the partnership of Virgil and Konate is very experienced, and hopefully Chelsea can be able to bypass these two defenders and actually position themselves in areas where they can actually look to try and score goals. Enzo Maresca and overall the Chelsea team is going to face a team that is going to give them space in behind, but a team that is always going to put them under pressure and is going to physically impose themselves at them. The young players of Chelsea need to be mature enough to understand they will be playing against a hostile ground. So Chelsea should ensure that they immediately score the first goal. If they can add a second goal, they score the second goal and retain their shape. We've seen teams like Nottingham Forest come to Anfield and actually get a result. So Chelsea should actually prepare themselves to be quite disciplined to get a result.
Chelsea have just got to stop buying players. And players have got to stop signing for Chelsea.
I could be part of that.
Part of what?
Part of this young, exciting team that could be.
It's not a young and exciting team. 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 No, I can't have nothing 'cause I fight up anything that I can choose. Let it get done.